Today we got Dirk of xSpectar in the show. Welcome back to Bitcoin Live.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back, Dirk, because xSpectar is one of my favorite metaverse projects. Also built on the XRPL, so that's funny because we are called BitcoinLive, of course. But yeah, it's the project blows my mind. So happy to have you back always on the show.
Thank you for having me. And I think one thing is very important, that what we are actually building, our metaverse, hasn't anything to do with the XRPL as such. What we do use is the XRPL as a blockchain to facilitate payments. Speed, very cheap, no gas fees or almost no gas fees. And we will use blockchain technology where needed. We are looking into integrating other chains as well, because we know it's quite important in the future maybe to have smart contracts or EVM compatible chains. So it's our community is built on the XRPL. We'll never forget them, of course. But I think to make a project like this become successful, you need to look further and not limit yourself to one specific chain.
So you're basically blockchain agnostic in that sense.
I think that should be the goal, yeah. And for every project to be successful, betting on one horse is probably not that smart. There won't be one winner. There will be several good chains, and some chains are better for some things than others. And the XRPL has been built for instant payments, very cheap, fast, green, carbon neutral. So I think it's a big advantage, but we are looking into other possibilities. And again, limiting ourselves to only the XRPL community. It's a community with lots of potential, lots of possibilities to grow. But I think that our project by now is maybe overgrowing the XRPL community.
Yeah, and congratulations with your land sales, because that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And they look really spectacular. Made like a word pun in the title, but they're xSpectacular. Shall we jump in the promo video?
Yes.
It's about to go down.
For some reason, I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, no, I turned off the mic. Otherwise, you get like a double sound with a video.
Okay.
So we're back, but yeah, wow, the graphics on that, it's like the Unreal Engine. You mentioned it in our previous show, but you know, it's sort of you know, what it can conjure up is quite spectacular indeed.
Well, the land has been created from scratch as well. In size, it's 10 kilometers by 6 kilometers. So the size of a smaller European country. To US standards, it's not that big. However, to give you an idea in acres, it's like almost 4 to 5 times Central Park.
Wow. Yeah. That must have been a lot of work, Dirk.
Well, people underestimate the work, the time, and the cost of it. But we're very proud. It looks nice, and we're very happy with everything, how it's going until now. We're almost 1 week into the sale, and we have surpassed our expectations. So there is some left, But yeah, it's going quite all right, especially since times are still difficult. The day before yesterday, of course, we had Silicon Valley Bank. Very curious how that will go in the next few days. But we're not worried. We have been building during a bear market since the launch of the project almost a year ago, and we have been very successful in everything we did. So no worries here.
That's good. That's good. Can you tell us some more about how people can go about and buying these plots of lands as far as they're built?
Well, for now, and there is an interesting concept. We have our own native marketplace, xSpectar.com/marketplace, where you can buy and sell our NFTs. But we also developed a crypto-enabled e-commerce platform where you can link you can create an account on xSpectar.com and purchase the parcels of land, as we call the combined plots, by creating an account on xSpectar, of course. Payments for now in XRP, since we are based on the XRPL, but also in our native token xSpectar. You can purchase it on several exchanges, Bitrue, Bitmark, Mexi, Lbank, Whitebit, Dextrade, Coinstore, and so on. Almost 10 or 9 or 10 decent exchanges where you can buy with USDT pairs. However, if you want to connect to our website, you need Zum Wallet. Zum Wallet, developed by a fellow countryman of you guys, xSpectar, probably one of the best wallets in the world for how it works, by the way. So that's at this stage absolutely necessary to get Zum Wallet. We have section in the website or on the website how to buy, where it explains step by step everything you need to do to install them and whatever. So purchases in xSpectar token and in XRP. We are rebranding and streamlining the brand xSpectar, the website. There will be a new website, hopefully somewhere early April. Land sales will continue as long as needed. And on our new website, we will also accept fiat payments, something that's quite interesting for people in the US, since most exchanges delisted, of course, XRP. So they will be able to buy the parcels of land. It's a partnership with Stripe, so with credit card payments.
Very smart.
The parcels and the land plots aren't NFTs. So I think we spoke about it last time. We have the crypto-enabled e-commerce platform that powers our marketplace, but that also is some kind of Shopify similar thing that we use. We build it ourselves, where people can buy in-game digital assets, and this is in-game digital assets. It's an interesting concept because it avoids it's not a token, so it avoids lots of legal issues or possible legal issues. It's a pre-sale of an in-game digital asset. However, at some point after the pre-sale or the sale, people will be able to pick their plots on the land. You can see it, the little hexagons. A parcel is a set of combined plots. They're for sale, by the way, now in pre-sale at serious discounts. Minus 55% for the bigger plots, up to till like minus 5% for the smaller plots. So it's absolutely interesting to get in early and to get your parcel of land during the pre-sale. The parcels will become NFTs. So once people have them at a certain moment in the next few weeks or months, people will be able to pick their plots. The plot picking will, there will be a ranking. So people will be able to pick, and there will be a ranking according to NFT holdings. So the more NFTs you hold, the earlier you can pick. We had some backlash regarding that idea because, well, some people said, well, it's not an honest thing. We think it is. And again, picking first isn't necessarily best, I think, because you have to pick a plot and you don't know where all the others will be. So the whole process is also a little bit of a game, and we try to make it fun and interesting, and people challenge people, and you really have to think what is the best thing to do, and that's part of the game. So yeah, well, very happy when that we can start with that. People will be able to place their whatever picture they want on their plot or parcel, and afterwards, at that stage, actually, the world should be accessible. So we changed a little bit. We saw that like the storyline wasn't very well architected, I think, or designed. I think that from now on we will create with the rebranding a better story. The agents, everybody will arrive in our Access Community Hall, which is a big art gallery virtual. It's a downloadable, by the way, so people can go to our website, download it to feel the quality and the virtual world that we create. It will be accessible for everybody, and in the next stage, NFT holders will be able to go out of the community hall and access the open world that we created. Lots of other things are coming up as well. One of them is a creator award, the xSPECTAR Creator Award program, because we realized that creating a tool for people to be able to build or to build easily in Unreal Engine and 3D modeling, it's not for everybody. So we will organize a contest where all kinds of geeks and nerds and people in their mother's basement that know Maya and Blender and Unreal can create stuff. And because our community is quite powerful, they have the means to spend and they're very excited, but they don't necessarily are able to build it themselves. And we will create a tool that makes it easy for people to build, but it's like running another company and building another product. So hopefully that will be something for early next year. And in the meantime, the creator contest up to $25,000 in prizes.
Wow.
We collaborate with a company called VR Division. They are based in London, originally Syrian guys. They fled for the war, and they're very well connected in the Middle East, Asia, Africa. And one thing that's cool to do, I guess, is give people in countries that have less possibilities than ours, is give them the possibility to be able to create, to NFT their structures and to sell it to people in our community that want a building on their plot and that don't have the capacities of building it themselves.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. And in that way, of course, you get many more people who are involved with the project instead of just consuming it. And that way you make a bigger and stronger community, in my opinion.
Well, we hope to attract at least 1,000 creators.
Wow.
Yeah. And those are really big prizes also that you named there.
Yeah.
So
people join.
Yeah. So, and it's still early, right?
And some people in the community say, well, you're throwing money away. Well, it's not at all, because building one structure ourselves with a whole dev team will cost almost the same amount. So it's better to attract as many as people as possible, reward the best ones, but all the other ones will be able to monetize on what they build as well, because they can NFT it and sell it. And there will be a huge demand for it, no doubt.
You got a lot of fans in the comment section. I see people cheering you on.
Started feeling like a movie star.
So what excites you the most about the project that you built?
Well, it's a lot. What excites me the most, the people I work with, I think. And that's not probably not only exciting, but it's a hell of a job. And we realized that it's a project that organically grew, and I think by now everybody realizes the scale, the possibilities, and the workload, and that's something that not everyone was expecting, I guess. But no, I think that there's so much to come. Today we launched, for example, we're in very good friends with Hugo Fillion from Flare Networks community that's very closely related to the XRPL community. They have EVM compatibility. They have smart contracts. We have been very friendly with the HBAR community as well. So I think that there are ways to expand our horizons and to do cross-chain things. So that's something that's coming up. The fiat payments, legally, I can't speak about listings, so I won't. But maybe there are some interesting things coming up. Yeah.
And you also have this vault. I saw while I was sort of browsing around. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? It sounds very interesting.
Well, it's we avoid the word staking also for legal reasons. People can lock up their tokens in a vault and get a certain percentage of interest for the longer periods, and the higher staking or locking amounts. They can also get NFTs or even an apartment in the XS Tower, which will be a big building at the core of the metaverse. So yeah, also quite interesting. We kept it real. Lots of projects, they give crazy amounts of interest or yield. With us, it's between 3 and 35%, depending on the period. We try to be realistic. Giving tokens away is easy, but it's diluting your own value and screwing all the community over, by the way. So we had an economist, we made calculations, and we are confident that in the time frames that people can lock up their tokens and the percentages that they will get, that we are able to create enough interest and added value to avoid diluting our own tokens.
Yeah, because you're in it for the long run, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The train has left the building. I can't. It's too late to jump off, and we're very excited what's coming. So we have maybe something coming up regarding exchanges. We have the new website. I'm currently working on the updated white paper a third time, not something that I was looking forward to, but we streamlined lots of things, and I think there's more room to improve. We do the rebranding, the fiat payments that are coming, the marketplace, which is now the native marketplace on our website, will become a standalone marketplace where we can onboard other projects as well. So that's something to look forward to. Regarding the metaverse, of course, the land sales, the actual land being developed and finished up. The community hall, we will have multiplayer enabled. We will have voice chat enabled, so people can download it, can meet each other, can communicate, something that will excite people as well. And there was some technical thing now. If you download the community hall, it's like it's a zip file and open and then execute and this and that. So it's a whole procedure. So I think the developers let me know a couple of days ago that the installer is ready, where people just have to push one button, everything gets installed, it gets automatically updated and everything. So that's it.
Yeah, because
and then the storyline. Yeah, I keep talking all the time.
No problem.
But that's
great.
That's the point,
Yeah.
right? So but it's good to hear all these developments and the excitement behind it, and to see all the fun reactions. And this is, we just had a really horrible bear market behind us, so this is the time to build, right? Because better times are hopefully coming.
They are.
Yeah, well, the sun will shine one day, but nobody knows when. And for us, of course, the big challenge is to keep on building. We want to be consistent. And if you know how many people are working on it and what our expenses, our burn rate is per month, it is a challenge, even though we are quite successful with our sales and everything. But I'm still confident, and it's month by month. As long as we can keep on building, we're very happy, and we didn't slow down in the past few months at all. So
I saw you all over the place, Dirk. I think you traveled the world around for xSpectar.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can't even remember where I've been. We've been in LA, in Dubai, in London, and so on. I forget about it. Next week I have to be in Paris for a Paris Blockchain Week. But you have to keep in mind that in the meantime, I'm doing all the rest as well. So I'm constantly with two phones in my hand. Very, very bad for your social life. Um, However, I am looking at some of the people in the chat room as well. It's really nice to hear those things, that people are really excited. A couple of days ago, we had there was a reply to one of our tweets, and it was a guy. I didn't know him. He's called Bit. I don't know. I forgot his name, but I can look it up. He has 2.2 million followers on Twitter.
Wow.
He's active in crypto since 2015, and he reached out to me and he said, if you did what you do on Ethereum, you would have a market cap of $500 million, even in a bear market.
Yeah.
That was well, I didn't pay him to say that, so it was like it came even to a shock to me. So yeah, well, I think we have something good going on. Better times will be ahead somewhere. We will keep on building. We will expand to other communities and other chains. Yeah, and it's a difficult one. It's always a struggle with the community as well, because your biggest fans can become your biggest critics as well.
Yeah, true.
So but yesterday we did an AMA in Discord, and I had because there is some XRPL people or XRP people and ETH people, they don't necessarily like them and I each other. And I asked them a hypothetical question. I told them, what if the way to grow is to go to ETH? And again, let me be very specific. It's purely hypothetical. And yeah, well, as expected, the reactions were a little bit mixed. You have the hardcore tribalists that say, no, we are XRPL. But if you see that our fully diluted market cap now is somewhere, I don't even know. I don't have time to check. Probably somewhere around $3 million. Well, if then somebody that should know says that doing what we do on ETH, you should have a market cap of $500 million. Well, then people start thinking, well, maybe it's not a bad idea to look into other possibilities. And again, we will never leave or forget the XRPL. But to be successful, if you again, yeah, it's all the same. People have to look at numbers, and most traders and community members are very emotional, which I get because I invest as well. And looking at the floor price, for example, if you look at the floor price and of our NFTs and our pre-sale price, well, it's lower than it was, yes, but we have been selling treasury NFTs somewhere around floor price as well, and we have sold them all. So there are 8,888 NFTs, and we have no influence on them at all because we don't hold anymore. So that's a very healthy system and economy. And we gained 3 NFT holders on average per day in the past 6 to 8 weeks. So almost 600 or 400 new people in a month or a month and a half, which is important because it's all in numbers and people forget it. And if you look at a price today, well, yeah, maybe it's a little bit lower, but we have gained so many community members, and that's what will make us grow.
Yeah, I always listen to Raoul.
Explain.
I always listen to Raoul Paul, and he also says that you have to look at community for the long run if a project will be successful. And that's when you told me the first time about what xSpectar is and what it's going to be. Then I got really excited because I see the potential of the project. And you also told me a little bit about the team. And it's a very, how do you say it, a very big team, but very, how do you say it? Dedicated team. And those things combined can make it last through any bear market. And then when we finally reach a good bull market and xSpectar keeps building in this way, this is my personal opinion, I expect a lot of good things for xSpectar and what you are doing.
No.
Yeah, well, I think you have to look as well at the milestones in 11 months and see what we have done. And especially in the next few weeks, we hope to have everything that I just mentioned ready for our first birthday. If you look at 1 year of xSpectar and you take a couple of steps back and you analyze everything we have done, in a bear market, I don't think you can find any other project that has to be that has done what we've done.
No, and I totally agree with that. It's quite amazing, really. And I also agree with what Jan said with the liveliness and engagement of the community. That's sort of the lifeblood of a project. But where do you see the metaverse going? Are you sort of going to also interlock with other different kind of projects that are doing similar things, or what is your view on that?
It is an interesting concept. What is a metaverse? How do you see a metaverse? Everybody has a different answer. What is it? Nobody knows because it doesn't really exist yet. So ideally, our metaverse won't be a game, but it will run on a game engine, of course. So how can we make it successful? I think there are several crucial aspects. The first one is socialize, network, meet people, be able to speak virtually, have virtual identities, connect wallets to your virtual identities, maybe multiple ones, be who you are or be who you don't want people to know you are, whatever. Be able to own digital assets, buy NFTs and transact them, make money with them, sell them, buy them, create. And then the business aspect and the creator thing, how will it be successful? Well, the more people that participate, the more successful it is. So we need to have more people in, therefore expansion to other chains and the creators. And then the ability to have people that actually can build and have good ideas. It would be nice to connect with other metaverses, but it isn't that easy because one of our ideas is, of course, that if somebody buys a parcel and they build a structure in their building, they should be able to do whatever they want. We would have a certain control because for legal reasons, some things aren't possible. You can't build a concentration camp, for example, or you can't build an illegal casino or whatever. But casinos, for example, should be possible if approved. However, where is the responsibility for somebody that builds something and in the building, can they create whatever they want? Yes, theoretically. Will it run on their servers or on our servers? An important technical and legal issue. If I see our metaverse as the Alta Vista or Yahoo, the search engine, but in a virtual 3D environment. So yeah, well, if people can do whatever they want in their house and it runs on their servers, there is a possible issue because all the avatars come together, and as soon as they enter the door of a structure, they leave our servers, but the voice chat and so on, the multiplayer, it runs within the engine. So there are lots of questions. We have been doing an interesting comparative study of metaverses. We found a few that are very interesting. Open metaverses where they really try to create something where everything can be connected to. But it's all theory. I haven't seen it yet. It sounds really nice. I found one that if you read it, very technical as well, but that seems very nice. Lots of people, lots of money, but I don't know if they will make it happen in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
really
I
does.
saw some
And
interview with Neal Stephenson, the famous science fiction writer of Neuromancer, and sort of this discussion over open or closed metaverses and should they be decentralized or centralized. You know, all these issues that you're sort of talking about. But I think hearing what you say, there will also be a lot of legal issues with some metaverses that are already out there.
well, we all crave for some kind of clarity and regulation, but it's not that easy. Governments or legislation is way behind technology. The enforcement by some agencies is a little bit worrying. However, if something runs on a decentralized network, who is responsible? Which jurisdiction is it? I don't know, and I
Well,
don't think that anybody knows.
Yeah.
So
So
there
these
are
are
quite challenges, and we should take advantage of that because we can build it, and if we build it, it's a problem that governments will have to solve. We are asking for some kind of framework.
yeah.
yeah, build it and they will come, right? And the regulation will follow along the way. It's like an open question, and nobody really has
And
the
they
answer.
can't forbid it if you don't do something, because I get that people have to be protected, and but if you don't take people's money and run, but actually build something that's innovative and
Yeah.
and the future of technology, I don't see what they can do. Maybe if you're very successful, they will tax you heavily.
That will probably
That's
happen.
the worst thing that can happen, according to me. However, there are lots of players that should be put in jail because there are lots of bad actors. And that's something that's really bad for the industry and the people that are seriously building something. Some people think that because of the success of what we are doing, that makes us a lot of money. I can promise you one thing: I have to put money out of my own pocket every month to make sure that everybody gets paid. People underestimate the workload and the cost of it. And the best thing to compare to is like good games that are metaverse like GTA or Roblox or whatever. Those games take 3, 5, 7 years to build, and they have
Yeah.
budgets of 50, 100, 200 million. What we are doing is even more difficult. However, I'm very confident that with the limited budgets that we have, we are doing something interesting because we're very focused on working on the IDs. So I think that we can have something really cool, and it will be, as we always said, in episodes or in phases or in releases, and it will grow organically. We will always have new IDs, good feedback from the community, and there are lots of good IDs. However, it's always a discussion between the marketing people, the founder, and the developers, because everything is possible.
And
Everything
probably
is
one,
or almost possible. But yeah, I've had community members that said, yeah, I have a fantastic idea, you should do this and that. And it's actually a very good idea. However, implementing it would cost 10 million.
Yeah.
That's a
yeah,
good idea. It's a very good idea. Do you have 10 extra? I'm happy to do it.
Not yet. Not yet. Maybe in a
And
bull
that's,
market.
and that's one of the reasons why the building goes not as fast as most people want. But that's not only with us, that's everywhere.
True.
And it's not only a matter of money, by the way, because the company that has 100 million won't be able to do it by the end of this year as well. So yeah, lots of challenges, but that makes it interesting.
and there's probably one question that you often get, and that is, how do you view AR and VR, and will they play a role in xSpectar at some point?
Well, VR for sure. I think that AR is also quite advancing in phases that are probably will be at a point of implementing quite easily. VR for sure. The VR glasses. So that's something that is, I think, closely related to make the experience even more real. And artificial intelligence as well, I guess.
Yeah.
It's way more interactive if there are characters running around that give you answers that aren't necessarily people. The ideal thing would be that there are so many people in that it's not needed. But yeah, I'm very excited. For me, it's the most interesting venture I've ever done in my life.
Well, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, crypto is an adventure, and the metaverse and NFTs is like that
Even
times
bigger. Yeah, I try to explain to people why I really love crypto, but especially NFTs and the metaverse, or whatever you call it. But a lot of people don't grasp the concept yet of that everything is possible if you can imagine it, and then if you can build it or pay for the building.
I'm always surprised, right? Because there's so many movies out there, sci-fi movies, where you actually see a metaverse, right? From the
Well, the
Matrix.
metaverse concept dates from the 80s, I guess,
Yeah.
and further developed in the 90s. So it's a dream, but we're coming closer and closer to the dream. I think by 2030, we will have metaverses that come very close to the initial ideas of metaverses. Yeah.
So, is there something that we sort of missed that you want to highlight before we wrap it up?
Well, there are probably lots of things that I missed as well. So it's a lot. We're doing a lot. So I would suggest everybody to check us out on Twitter. We're very active on Twitter. Jump into our Discord. Maybe wait a little bit for reading the white paper, because there's a new version coming up. And definitely check us out early April, our first birthday, and everything that will be coming up by then.
Awesome, Dirk. Yeah, we especially love xSpectar. I was always supporting you guys, and will keep doing that. And of course, read the new white paper when it gets released. And maybe we should have a party, an xSpectar party, when we hit 1 year of xSpectar when it's live. Love working with you.
Well, same here, and I'm always happy to support you guys, and I hope to see you soon.
Awesome, Dirk. Thanks for being on Bitcoin Live. Come back when you have more news. You're always welcome on our show. And yeah, we'll keep supporting you and seeing you.
And to the people watching, go to the land sale, right?
Yeah,
because it's still
right away.
live, and you can grab yourself a really nice plot of land. So
Or multiple.
And the marketplace, of course. So go check them out. We'll put all the links down beneath the YouTube video, and they're also on the site in the chat box. So yeah, with that, I want to thank you very much, Dirk, for being on the show, and we loved it.
With pleasure. See you guys soon.
See you guys.
Take care.